Hey y'all, welcome to the Face Reveal video for 69 subs. I know I'm at 80 now and I'm a little behind the times, but hi. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome. I'm gonna probably call videos like this ginger snaps. These video essay style things. If I make more of them, on account of me being ginger and all. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. So lately there's been a whole lot of hype around Star Wars. You have Filoni becoming the CCO of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy putting chicks in everything and making them gay, and applying the Marvel formula to the franchise. Star Wars is simultaneously in the best and the worst place that it's ever been in. Some prominent Star Wars YouTubers have really been on this big kick about bringing George Lucas back to Star Wars and putting the franchise back in the hands of its maker. And I'm here to tell you that's a really stupid idea. So take off your nostalgia goggles for a minute, alright? Let's talk about why Disney Star Wars isn't that bad and why we need to divorce ourselves from George Lucas. For those of you behind the times, Disney bought Star Wars back in 2012. This was, I think, rightfully met with concern at the time. I know it was for me. But looking back on it, a lot of that concern is unwarranted. So while Disney was primarily a kids movie company, films like Pirates of the Caribbean, I think did a great job of showing that Disney could handle itself with live-action films that were geared towards an older audience. The outcry from the Star Wars community was largely, and is still largely, pointless. One thing that Star Wars fans tend to forget is that Star Wars is for kids. While you have shows like The Mandalorian and the later seasons of the Clone Wars animated series with darker themes, Star Wars is a franchise for kids at its core. Take a trip through the toy section at Target, you'll see what I mean. Lucas has said this himself in previous interviews, so selling the kids franchise to a kids company actually made a lot of sense. Not to mention taking that fat fucking bag, that made a lot of sense too. Good on you, George. Enter Kathleen Kennedy, who is basically the Voldemort of Star Wars. She's the one that oversaw bangers like the sequel trilogy, Solo, and the last Indiana Jones movie. Not a very solid record when it comes to Star Wars, I know, but Kennedy is actually a very accomplished producer. This is a fact often overlooked by a lot of creators on this platform that are hypercritical of Disney's fuck-ups. Kennedy has produced Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, E.T., and more, all alongside Steven Spielberg for fucking years. And I know y'all like these fucking movies, so don't come in here frothing at the mouth over Kathleen Kennedy not knowing what she's doing. You know who didn't know what he was doing? George Lucas. This guy was a fantastic world builder and storyteller, but he wasn't a good fucking filmmaker. And don't come for me in the comments either, because I know how y'all feel about the prequels and shit. I know how this community bullied Ahmed Best and the kid who played Anakin back in The Phantom Menace. So shut your fucking mouths. You know I'm right. If Lucas had held on to the IP, he would have made an entire trilogy about the wills of the Force. You know, the wispy ghost people from the Clone Wars? No? Well, if you're not a sweaty Star Wars nerd, probably not. Arguably, this was an even worse direction to take the franchise than anything Kennedy has shit out over the past few years. Tell me I'm wrong. Lucas was also responsible for some of the best shit being cut out of the prequel films. So, the duel between Windu and Palpatine was supposed to be way longer and more complex. Same with the one between Anakin and Dooku. I'm gonna link the original ones, like the cut footage down below. Check them out, because they're fucking awesome. Lucas, however, isn't done with Star Wars. He still is on occasionally as a consultant for Disney. So he works with Filoni and other producers, and that's kept the spirit of Star Wars intact, I think. But by no means am I suggesting that Lucas should never again have anything to do with the franchise. However, if for some reason Lucas got Star Wars back, we would never again get the depth of media we have today. No Ahsoka series, no Mandalorian, no Star Wars Visions. Projects like that wouldn't be on the table because he lacks the creative filmmaking capacity to make them happen. Again, going back to the writing of The Phantom Menace, don't tell me it was good, alright? It wasn't. I love the prequels, but come on guys, the writing was bad. George Lucas' Star Wars is dead. There's no ifs, no ands, and no buts about it. So putting George Lucas into the theoretical grave, we can focus more on Disney Star Wars. Like I said, the sequel trilogy wasn't great. We can all agree on that. But I'll admit, I really liked Episode 7. Hot take. It was more the same, I know, but it did what it was supposed to do in that it set up a new story with familiar faces. And god damn, I got dog hair everywhere. The biggest issue with Star Wars, to me, besides this whole, bring back George Lucas movement, is that it's gotten the Marvel treatment. And what I mean by that is that they're just shitting out shows for like every character that's appeared on screen in one point or another. And now so far, the Star Wars ones have been pretty good, but I digress. With George writing scripts, you wouldn't have had the deep interpersonal stories of the Bad Batch. You wouldn't have the Ronin drama of Ahsoka, and you sure as hell wouldn't have masterful storytelling like we see in Tales of the Jedi. That being said, I know I am, but I think everyone's starting to feel Star Wars fatigue, just like everyone's feeling superhero fatigue. Now, you could argue that if George had more of a creative input, that he'd bring a fresh take on things. But all in all, guys, is Disney Star Wars really that bad? Just take a minute and think about it. Is it really that bad? Next time you want to throw shade at Disney for Star Wars, think of all the cool shit we've gotten from it. I mean, we even have a fucking Star Wars theme park now. Thanks to Disney, we have some of the best and the most Star Wars that we've ever seen. As a community, I think it's time that we moved on from George Lucas. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's time, guys. You're never going to agree with everything Disney does, and that's totally fine. But the community might get a better reputation, not just among the denizens of the internet, but the actors who play in these movies too, if we didn't wage wars of attrition over who's running a fucking children's franchise. Pretty silly when you put it that way, right? That's all I got for this one, y'all. I'm sorry about the lapse in uploading. My day job and the holidays pretty much fucked me out of any time to make videos, but things are calmed down now, so I should be back to uploading semi-regularly. I'm just going to leave that voice crack in there, I'll be honest. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Disney Star Wars and this video essay style of content down in the comments below. Drop a like and subscribe if you had good vibes with me today, and more and different content to come, so stay tuned. I'm gonna float on out of here, so see you in the next one.